Hi guys, welcome. I am so excited to share this new palette from Patrick Ta with you. You'll have to excuse the fingerprints. I've had quite an exciting little hour or so since this puppy arrived. Broken. So I did go ahead and repress the broken shade, which is this one right here, but I did request a replacement from Sephora, but I thought let's go ahead and film a look because I am ready, Freddy. I'm gonna go ahead and start things off with this lightest matte in the palette. This is the shade Crush. I don't know if it will be good for a setting shade, but we'll try it as a transition shade maybe. How about that? And it'll mostly set. My primer, which is always the Fenty Beauty eye primer. I was so excited when I saw this palette come out. I know a lot of you probably were too. I honestly didn't think I had any hope of getting it, and then my son said he would purchase it for me, so I'm a lucky girl. Let's go into this next deepest matte shade, which would be Amore. I just love the tones in here, and there are several duochrome shades as well, which I find to be really cool. And also this palette, while it's also rosy, it has a lot of other tones to it, and it's quite a bit deeper, I feel like, than his original palette. But I think that's great. I think, you know, everybody should be able to use this beautiful palette regardless of their skin tone or depth. Next, I'm going to go into this beautiful sort of mauve rose shade here called Devotion. It's definitely the most pinky looking matte in its appearance, and I'm going to put this on the outer part of the lid, and then once the bulk of the pigment is off, I will bring it up into the crease. I want to try this just like really standard looking metallic shade up here, which is called Affair. And I'm going to take it on this sort of dense domed brush here from Rephr. And I just want to apply this to the outer corner just for a little additional depth. And this shade is just calling my name. I know my shirt looks pretty boring, but my pants are burgundy, so why not? We're getting smoky. And I think that's gonna be the case with this palette in general. And I will definitely, don't you worry, definitely get into the cream shadows. I really want to try this one right here. I don't know if I'll be able to show it on camera. Oh, yes. So when you tilt it back, it looks gold. Can you see that? And then when you tilt it forward, you can see the pink. I think that is fantastic. So I really want to try that shade. They don't feel quite as dry as his first ones. Look at that. Gorgeous. We're gonna see what it does on bare lids. You know, I didn't set my primer, so there's probably a little bit of tackiness there. I'm just building this up slowly. I think that's kind of the name of the game with his shimmers. I think, you know, your less is more to start at least. I really don't feel like there is a highlighting or like inner corner shade for me in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the highlighter that I'm wearing today, which is the Clinique Powder Pop Flower Highlighter in the shade Lunar Pop. And we're going to pop it right on the inner corner. I don't always have to have an inner corner highlight, but I kind of feel like it today. And I love this highlighter. I'm going to clean up the sides a little bit before I do liner and mascara and a lip and all that jazz, and I will come back and show you the completed look. All right, I'm back. This is the completed look. What do you think? I am so excited to continue working with this palette. But I did finish off the eyes with my Wet n Wild brown eyeliner, as well as the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes mascara sample. And for lips, very, very simple. Today I went in with the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner in Kitten, and the Bobbi Brown Crushed Oil Infused Gloss in the shade Free Spirit. And that is it. What do we think? My hair's like extra curly today. I did a wash day. It's a trash truck. What else can happen today? So yeah, that is my first impression on the palette. I'm going to bring to you 3 more looks, and I hope you enjoy them all. And with that said, let's get into the second one. Ta-da! Here is the second complete look. I finished off the eyes with my trusty Wet n Wild Simma Brown Now eyeliner, and for lashes I used the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up mascara, and in my lower inner rim I did put in the shimmer side of the ABH Brow Duo pencil here. Lined my lips with the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Pencil in Kitten. And then for lipstick, I went in with the Milani Matte Fetish lipstick in the shade Secret. It was a little more nude than I was wanting for this look. It kind of gave an overall more monochromatic look. So I layered the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Heat over the top, and both of these are in my top 5 lippies for spring, and I think the combination turned out really beautiful. I did a little wing, and I really enjoy this very simple all matte look. I love the rosy cream in the palette. So stay tuned. Here comes another tuck through demo for look, guys, and welcome to the third look with the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. Today we're going to do a halo eye, and I think I'm going to use this shade up here as the focus and a little bit of the gold one as a halo as well. So let's get started in the crease with this shade right here. There we go. This is the shade Amour. Just going to place this in the crease, and then if we need to blend out with a lighter or the lighter matte, then we can do that. I mean, these things just literally blend themselves. I still can't get over it, even though I've had my first Major Dimension palette since January. All right, I do think we'll go ahead and blend that out with the lightest shade in the palette, which is the shade Crush. And I really like this sort of light peachy shade here. It does show up, you know, as like a transition shade for me, but it's just a really nice, useful shade to have in this palette. All right, now I'm gonna go into this brown cream shade down here, which is called Unfaithful. I'm gonna use this to deepen up the outer corner. And this is like a really warm chocolatey brown. Very nice. I'm gonna use this on the inner part of the lid as well, just not as dark. Next, I'm gonna go into this shade, which is the shade Desire, this sort of orangey shade. And I really like to use my fingers for the shimmers in these palettes, so I'm gonna do it that way. So pretty. It's like rusty and pinky, and a little bit of gold in there. Is so pretty. And I like to bring my halo up a little bit into the crease just because then it will show with my eyes open. This would be a beautiful look for fall as well. So that is what that is looking like. I feel like my eyelids look like they're on fire. It's really cool. All right, and then lastly, I'm gonna dip into this gold shade here, which is called Adore. And just use this as sort of the center of the lid, highlight, halo, however you want to look at it. Just lighten things up a little bit. Shade feels a tiny bit more dry than some of the other shimmers in the palette, but it performs beautifully, so no reason not to love it. So that is what we're looking like. Maybe a little more of the gold, especially right here at the lash line. On the lower lash line, I'm gonna go ahead and use this matte rusty shade right here, which is the shade Passion. And I'm gonna take this flat definer brush and pick up a little bit of that shadow and use it on about the outer half of the lower lash line. And then I'm gonna wipe that same brush off and use the shade Amore, this one right here, on the inner half, and then kind of to blend out that other shade as well. Beautiful. All right, do we want an inner corner highlight? Sure, why not? I'm gonna clean off that little brush that I used and pull out the highlighter that I'm wearing today, which is the Clinique Flower Highlighter in Lunar Pop. This is just such a nice kind of champagne-y, peachy color, which I love, and happens to go very well with this whole palette, really wonderful. All right, I'm gonna pop off of here quickly, finish off the look, and I'll be back to show you the completed look, as well as give you my thoughts on this palette. All right, we're back. This is the completed look. I finished off the eyes with my trusty Wet n Wild eyeliner in some Brown Now, as well as the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up mascara. I am loving this thing. And then for lips, I thought we'd have a little 90s moment in honor of my super cute flannel that I picked up in Denver this weekend. And so I went with the Milani, I forget what these are actually called, Milani lipsticks. And this is in the shade Teddy Bear. It's an Emily Noel fave. And then I topped it off with a little bit of my Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Magic. So let's talk about this palette. I really enjoyed playing with this. Am I glad that I got this in addition to the first palette that I already own? Yes, I am. I really love the two tones of the creams that were included in this palette, especially the more rosy one that I used for the all matte look. I love the shimmers that are included in the palette as well. I love that this is just like a typical sort of metallic formula that is just gorgeous. Like, I am gonna be all over that shade come fall. I think it would pair beautifully, these two together. But anyways, then you also have two more like duochrome shades that I think are beautiful. The mattes are absolutely stunning. I love how he builds the gradient for you, so it makes it very easy no matter what you want to do on the rest of the eye to build a nice gradient in the crease and the transition, outer corner, all of that. And other than that, I really can't say that much more. I just love this palette. I will say overall that this palette is a little bit more on the darker side, I feel like, or it comes off a little bit more on the darker side than the first palette, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't know that I get overall spring vibes. Like, maybe if you cover up this half of the palette, this might be your spring vibes right here. And of course you can wear whatever you want in spring. I just don't typically do looks like this that I did today in springtime. So, but overall, I just love this palette. I have no doubt it will become a staple in my collection along with the first palette. I cannot wait to combine the first and second palettes and see what I can come up with. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you would like to see in a video, maybe 3 looks combining the 2 palettes or something. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the looks as well as my thoughts on the palette. Let me know down below, is it on your wish list? Did you pick it up during the sale? And if you did, what are you thinking about this palette? I think it's stunning. I think it's everything that I would expect from a Patrick Ta palette. And I'm really, really happy that my son was so generous and picked it up for me in the sale. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you and your time as always. I hope if you did like today's video, you'll hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on that notification bell to all if you want to be around for all of my future uploads, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon.